As Hegel rightly says, it is thinking that turns the soul, common to us and animals, into spirit. It is thought that is the characteristic feature that makes human action human. All human motives contain thought. This is the concept, or idea, that guides the action. When we know the idea that guides our deed, it is ours, and we distinctly feel that we ourselves determine our motive. We are conscious of our freedom.
Really? Are you serious? You were saying that for actions to qualify as human, in the highest sense, they must proceed from cold, abstract judgments.
What I am saying is, the moment our conduct aspires to more than the satisfying of purely animal desires, our motives will always be shaped by thoughts. Animals immediately react to an object that enters their environment. Humans are capable of deliberation, in which an abstract concept can determine the action. This makes ethical action possible. Abstract thinking allows the thinker to go beyond the here and now that is in front of the face. Thinking gives us the ability to conceptualize, which makes it possible to understand and act out of knowledge.
Love and compassion are driving forces of the heart that cannot be understood by cold concepts of the intellect.
My patriotic love of country may disrupt your logic and rationality, but I don't care. Ivy Tower ideas are the weapons of pacifist intellectuals who question our country. A patriot supports the troops. You should never question what the troops may be doing.
Emotions disrupt consciousness and clear thinking, because emotions spring from the unconscious without having to make any sense. Emotions by their nature are unconscious, and cannot be understood. If emotions are understood, they would be conscious, and would no longer be emotions.
I believe the world will be a better place if our heart determines our action rather than our intellect. We feel in our gut and heart the harmony in life, that every human being in every aspect of existence is a valuable part of the unity of life. Oneness is a fundamental, creative force present in all life. This oneness is centered in the heart, and it does not take great effort to experience it. With a simple walk in nature, we feel that we are not separate from its beauty and power, but rather nature is within us, and we are within it. A child is born with a feeling of oneness with the world, only to lose it with the development of the intellect. The dualistic thinking of the intellect undermines harmonious cooperation and collaboration by separating things into cause and effect, right and wrong, them and us, and so on.
The world must remain blurred and undefined, for those who cling to the heartfelt oneness of childhood. In order to sustain the childhood feeling of oneness, the sharp distinctions of the intellectual view must be rejected. The intellect disrupts the world unity by separating the world into a multiplicity of sharply defined parts. The refusal to grow up leads to the rejection of science and rational debate.
The mature thinker does not stop at the preliminary stage of the intellect. The intellectual view must be deepened by reason. The task of the intellect is to establish clearly delineated concepts before we seek their harmony. Reason combines the separate concepts created by the intellect, bit by bit, into a unified system. The unity of all existence, which before was merely felt, of which one had only dim inklings, is clearly seen by reason. By passing through the intellect to the holistic thinking of reason, a unified world view is grasped in full conceptual clarity. If we reject the intellect, or are unable to move through it to a holistic worldview, our knowledge is insufficient. The conceptual clarity of disciplined thinking is needed if we seek to act out of knowledge. This takes hard work.
While it is thinking that creates the ideas for action, the heartfelt sensibility is the gatekeeper for adopting only those ideas that support oneness. The heart and its sensibility do not create the ideas of action, but our feeling for oneness can guide us as to whether to accept an idea or not. When our mind, heart, and action are unified, we act most powerfully with our whole being. Our whole being supports action that serves the whole of life, such as protecting the environment, diplomatic solutions to world conflicts, and social justice.
Then human development would move from the heart of a child, to the heart that has risen to the region of ideas, by way of the intellect.